Good afternoon, and welcome to a much more calmer Ask Dr. Lulu. Sorry about the technical difficulties. I guess we edit live, and therefore you cannot edit live videos. So I'm back. I feel better. Sorry about that. It happens. Okay, so good afternoon. It's time for Ask Dr. Lulu. If it's 2 p.m. anywhere Central Standard Time, it is time for Ask Dr. Lulu. So I'm your host, your favorite, your mostest pediatricianist, board certified pediatrician, 30 years, yes, and counting almost, and a mother of 2 teens and 1 nice, healthy adult. Hello. If you're joining me for the first time, that's who I am. If you're meeting me, as always, on Sunday afternoon, please take a seat, invite your friends, invite everyone. I know my homeboys, my 2 sons are inviting my friends as well. So invite anyone who has a teenager, anyone who knows a teenager. If your neighbor is a teenager, you know the usual spiel. Your grandma of a teenager, you're going to be a teenager, you were a teenager. Either way, come sit down and let's talk about teenagers and telephones. I do like to know where you're joining me from. So if you want to take a moment and also let me know from whence you come, I'd appreciate that. Last Sunday, we did a bit of a detour, and we actually, give me 1 second. We actually talked about bullying because of the events the preceding week. We talked about bullying as opposed to teens and telephones, which was the original plan. So today, we're going to talk about part 2 of teens and telephones. Let me see if anyone's joining. Well, hi, Elise, always there. April, thank you. And I think my mom, hi, just joined us also. So we're getting ready to get started. All right, so if you can hear me loud and clear, please give me a thumbs up. Hi, Nzinga. Your family is crazy, girl. I love it. Hi, Linda, my wifey. She joined us. If you can hear me very well, please give me a thumbs up. As much as possible, give me heart signs. And I'm going to need a scribe. I know Elise, you did not volunteer, but I'm going to volunteer you to please be my scribe today. So we're going to get started, okay? So last week, we talked about bullying, which was a very somber note. Yes, you can hear me loud and clear. Thank you. Thank you for the thumbs up, Mom. Okay, last week we talked about bullying, which was not supposed to be the topic, but we did talk about it anyway because of the events of the week preceding. Mr. Jamal Miles, God rest his soul, had taken his own life because he was bullied by his classmates. Today, just kind of riding off of that, one of the major issues about teens and telephones or children and telephones is cyberbullying. So we're going to address just part 2 of the teens and telephones today, and we're going to talk about what should you as a parent do if your child, like mine and everybody else's kids, are semi-addicted to cell phones or to tablets and all kinds of handheld devices. And you can throw in a TV as well if you like. I think TVs are almost becoming obsolete now. Let me see. A little static here and there. Must be the rain. Actually, we don't have any rain, Miss Ellis, but there's some background movement in the back. So this is live. Someone is moving carpet and curtains in the back. So maybe that's what you're hearing, but no, I don't know that there's any. Hi, Ryan. I don't know that there's static from my end, but we'll press on. Okay, let's get started. So 2 weeks ago, we talked about teens and telephones. So brief overview, we had a few numbers that we threw out. One of them was 4 to 5. Miss Ellis, can you please do me a favor and type in 4 to 5? That was the number of hours that we found that if teen girls especially are spending that much time online or on their handheld devices, they're more likely to experience anxiety, depression, and often suicidal thoughts. So 4 to 5, please. Can I get a 4 to 5? Someone type in 4 to 5, 4 to 5. Thank you. Oh, there's some static. Sorry, I don't know I can't do anything about that. I apologize. This is live, so we're just going to go out. Can you guys hear me, though? Can anyone hear me? Yes? Static or no static? Can you hear me, though? 4 to 4 hours, teen girls. Thank you. Maybe there's a delay. We're just going to go ahead. I mean, I don't know what to do. 4 to 5. Thanks, Ryan. So 4 to 5 hours is a time that's spent on the the time that they've calculated that when you spend that much time on your device, you're more likely to get depression, suicide, and all the other stuff, suicidal ideations. Hi, Anthony. Thank you. Thank you, Anthony, my new friend, my new buddy. So 4 to 5. Another number we mentioned 2 weeks ago was 8. The number 8. Anyone give me the number 8, please? The number 8 was the average number of hours being spent on the cell phone by our children. Average number of hours. That is about the number of hours you go to work. 9 to 5 is 8 hours. So our children are spending about 8 hours on the cell phone on a daily basis. Okay. And of course, 2012 is the year that we noticed teenagers started having their own personal cell phones, and therefore we started seeing an increase in the number of depressed teens. Yes, Ryan, thank you. Depressed teens and just suicidal thoughts and other things that are associated mentally with using of cell phones. So 2012, and the last thing was 73%, and 73% was the percentage of children who admitted to being cyberbullied or to being bullied online in one way or the other. So that's kind of a segue from last week's talk about Mr. Jamal, who was bullied and was online. So we have 73% of children using cell phones admitting that they've been bullied. And if they're saying 73% of the time, then we know that the number is more, right? Because most people are not going to admit because they don't want the repercussions. So as a parent, hi, Benita. As a parent, we're talking about teens and telephones today, okay? So as a parent, what do you do? As a parent of a 9-year-old, 11-year-old, 13, 16, 19, 20, what do you do when you find that your children are spending a little bit more time than you want to on the cell phone? What do you do? What do you do? So the first thing is do what I do, pray, right? Pray and ask for strength because the struggle is real. So there are 2 sets of parents we're going to talk about. One set is my group, who already have teenagers who are already on cell phones and other devices, right? And the other half, or the other set of parents, are those who have not had any children yet who are using cell phones. You guys are the lucky ones. The rest of us are very afraid. So if you're in my group of parents whose children already are using cell phones a lot, here's what we do. In addition to those who are not using cell phones yet, here's what you do. The first thing is you must lead by example. I'm not going to lie. I am guilty. And my son, like I said last time, my son takes my cell phone sometimes. And when I asked him last night if he thought I spent too much time on the cell phone, he said yes. He thinks I spend too much time on social media. So social media, cell phone, whatever, all of them together. And so it turns out that 32% of children who were sampled, aged 8 to 13, admitted to feeling unimportant or less important than their parents' cell phones. So our kids, if given the chance to speak, will complain about the time that we're spending on cell phones. Even though this talk is about teenagers, I have to be honest, I am just as guilty. So first things parents want to do is lead by example. Do not spend too much time on your cell phones, okay? You cannot tell your child to get off his cell phone or her cell phone if you are guilty of doing the same thing, okay? So 32% of children who were sampled aged 8 to 13 complain that their parents spend too much time on the cell phone and they feel less important than their cell phones. This is not than their parents' cell phones. So this is not good. Not a good trend at all. The second and most important thing, which may already be too late for some of us whose kids are already using cell phones, is set the ground rules. Set the rules of engagement. Yes, Miss Ellis, exactly. 32% of kids feel unimportant with the parents. Yeah, exactly. So set the rules of engagement, okay? Before you get the cell phone, sit down with little Johnny and say, little Johnny, here's what's going to happen. We're going to let you get a cell phone as long as you okay? So set the rules of engagement. And even now, if your children are like mine, they already have their own devices, and it's a bit of a struggle, like pulling 2 teeth without anesthesia, you can still sit down and kind of sit and say, okay, look, I'm going to be as liable to the rules as you are. We're all going to have to equally abide by the rules. So sit down and address the ground rules of engagement. Okay, first one, limit the places you're going to use the cell phone. So you can use your cell phone, but no cell phone use. You know what? Let me see what my listeners have to say. What do you guys say to places where you should use your cell phone or places where you should not? So let me hear what you guys have to say. Hi, Rose. Hi, Linda. It's just not kids, it's friends, family, yes, significant others. They're hurt by absolutely. So what are you guys saying? Where are the places that your children should not, or when are the times that your children should not use cell phones? What do you guys think? Let me hear what you guys think. So my first place was limit the use during dinner time. Cell phones off, TVs off, no form of media during dinner time. This is the only, I don't know what, 20 minutes you have to spend with each other. So I vote dinner time, or at least the main meal time. On the weekends, it might be lunch, dinner, whatever. But during meal times, no cell phone use. Can I get an amen? Can I get a thumbs up? I agree. Setting rules, yes. Miss Monica Flores says she agrees to setting rules. Yes, absolutely. So let me hear what else you guys have got to say. Where else should your kids not use cell phones? This is weird. For me, I say do not use your cell phones in the car. Usually when we go out, I want the kids to know where they live, know the streets, know the environment, know the roads, know what's going on around you. So one of the rules we have, which I haven't been very, very, very successful with that, but I do try to push that, is no cell phone use during, I would call it family time. How about that? Let's call it, my mom gives me a thumbs up, thank you. I would call it family time. Hi, Bethany. So we're talking about teens and telephones. What should parents do? Okay. So church, Anthony says church, at dining. Hopefully they're not having their cell phones at church, but hey, you know what? I won't put it past some kids. During the soccer World Cup, there was a video that went viral. This gentleman that had his cell phone on his baby's car seat, and he was watching the game during the service. So you're right, David, Anthony, thank you so much. That's a very good point. No cell phone at the table while eating or any activity that involves our family time. True. So we're saying the same thing. So absolutely none at family time, none, which is dinner time. For me, in the car when we're going somewhere. And also I have at bedtime. What do you guys think about bedtime? Can I get a thumbs up on that? Or heart? At bedtime, no cell phone use. One of my sons is very guilty of this. You just sneak and you see the light is on, the little blue light. I'm also guilty sometimes. I do have an app that's called Breathe to Relax that I use during my stressful times. I'm going to say I do use that, but yes, we're all guilty. We're all equally guilty. Let's just come out and say it. We're all guilty. We want to do better. Life is about learning the lessons. No one is perfect. My mom always says it's only a dead man that has no problems, right? So no one is perfect. We're all working. We're all a work in progress. So we're all going to start today and not use cell phones during dinner time, not use cell phones in the car for me, during family times, and also at bedtime. Let me see. Yeah, my mom gave me 2 thumbs up. Yeah, okay, let's keep going. So what else? Yeah, and so limits, put your, hi Shade, put your limits to when you use it and places to use it. And of course, bedtime rules. For me, when the kids were a little bit younger, it's harder now with 2 in college. But when the kids were a little bit younger, 10 o'clock was bedtime for us. So 10 o'clock was time to give your cell phone back to me. And they did that for the most part. The baby has lost his privileges for the cell phone for a while now. So he doesn't, I don't have to worry about that. But if they don't have school on the weekends, they might get away with it a little bit longer. But usually 10 p.m. Was the rule when everyone was home and listened to their mom. Now they're older. That help us. But yeah, 10 o'clock was bedtime rules for me, was a big deal. Hi, Shade. Hi, sweetie. How are you? Hey, Catherine Serda. Welcome. Take a seat. And so, yes, and if the kids come back to you like my kids do, oh, Mom, I need my cell phone for my alarm clock, buy them an alarm clock, okay? Buy them an alarm, because you know these kids are going to try anything at all to get away with their cell phone. So yes, so buy them the alarm clock so they have no excuses. Oh yes, there's another one. He says, Mom, I need to charge my phone. So what we should do, all parents, is you should have your kids, everyone in the family, charge your phones overnight in the same spot. Get a triple outlet, get what you have to get, but everyone turn in their phones at the same time and charge your phones at the same time overnight. So I'm not using my cell phone, you're not using your cell phone, and the kids will learn that, you don't have to have your cell phones. Plus, we talked about some medical issues last time, right? About brain tumors and radiation and things that can happen if your phone is too close to you, especially at bedtime. So, I mean, that's one of the things we need to remember, right? So put your cell phones away, put them at bedtime. Let me see. So my children are older. You guys might not all share this, but my kids are a little bit older, and I usually do a roundtable discussion sometimes. So you can also engage your kids in the discussion of consequences of either overuse of the cell phone, or what do you guys think we should do when I notice that you're not following the rules, you're spending too much time on your cell phone or your device, you're not doing your housework because of it, you're getting addicted to it. What do you guys think we should do? This way the kids feel empowered, and they also feel like they contributed to the rules, and therefore they won't maybe complain too much if you end up carrying out the rules that they themselves suggested. So I recommend you include your kids in the discussion if your kids are old enough. It's a good incentive for kids to get out of bed on time and get their cell phones in the morning. No, I think if they get, oh, she has a question. No, I think if you have an alarm clock, that excuse really goes away. There's really no excuse to go get the cell phone first thing in the morning, unless they're reading their Bible verses or they're doing their meditation. That's another thing on their cell phone. But I absolutely no cell phones by the bed. I just started doing that recently, and I love it. That's my dog Lulu, and I love it, and I don't want to go back to it. So I don't put my cell phone by my bedside anymore, and then that way, that's also helping me kind of cut that cord and stay away from my cell phone. Let me see. Monica Arellano Flores says, my kids turn in their phones at 9 p.m. to us. We have a phone station. Great. That's exactly what I'm talking about. They have a phone station in their home. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Their kids turn their cell phones in at 9 o'clock. Very good. Way to go, Monica. This is so good. Also, when we go on road trips, so they can enjoy the road trip on exactly. That's what I said. I don't even wait for road trips. I wait for whenever we're going out of the house, no cell phone. So we can talk, or they can look around. And believe it or not, they do talk to each other. Let me see. No cell phone at the table while eating. Yes, absolutely. And Ryan Sug says homework in schools. Yeah, we talked about that in part one, that they can do their homework. And so I do agree that there's uses of the cell phone. We talked about that. Parents want to get in touch with their kids. Kids want to get in touch with their parents. I know they can do their homework on their cell phone. They can look up schoolwork and grades. So we talked about that in part one. So watch my video of my part one video. We talked about all the good things about cell phones. This one is dedicated to what parents can do, right? So next thing, oh my God, restrict camera cell phone use. I probably am the most guilty of this in my home. I love to take pictures. I'm an amateur photographer. And these days I'm trying to kind of get back on that hustle, by the way. So if you need any amateur photographers, holla at your girl. But I do take lots of pictures, and sometimes I want to take a video of something, and my wife is like, no, put the phone down. But the reason I want to talk about this for teenagers is because it is not as innocent as you think to take pictures of the wrong body parts and post them online. It is a felony. So do not be caught taking pictures of the wrong things with your cell phone. So I say restrict camera cell phone use, period. Again, you're discussing these rules of engagement with your kids, right? You're not just coming and saying it's not going to be done. You're discussing it with the kids and letting them say, little Johnny, we're going to get you your cell phone, but before you get your cell phone, here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're not going to do. State the rules up front. So he or she has absolutely no excuses, okay? Let me see. No texting. Okay, this is for those who have children who are older. Some of us are guilty, but doing better. Absolutely no texting while driving. So that's another rule. So state that clearly. Luckily, most of the millennials actually are doing better than we adults with this. Do not text while you're driving. Do not text while you're walking. Do not text while you're walking. I know I've seen a lot of videos of people texting and they walk into the ditch, right? So no texting while driving. Please tell your kids absolutely no texting while driving. This is like a big one. You can, when you get to the stop sign, you can text. As a matter of fact, most of the cell phones now have the app or the auto. I know AT&T does, Sprint also does, where when you send me a text, my phone tells you that I'm driving and therefore I cannot respond to your text. So that's a big one. You can also install that in your kids' phones actually. So that's another thing you can do. Talking about installing things into your kids' phones, you can install parental control into your kid's phone. Yes, you can. So we're talking about, if you're just joining us for the first time, hi, Camelia, Lawrence Phillips. We're talking about things that parents should do when it comes to their teens and their telephones, or their kids and their telephones. Yes, I am guilty of that. But you know what? The funny thing about it is absolutely, positively tell the kids ahead of time. This is what we're going to do. This is what we're not going to do. If they feel like you've kind of included them in the decision making, I think that kind of goes better with them before they start all going crazy, right? Hi, Mari. How are you? So absolutely, set parental control. So I found 5 apps that you can use to set parental controls. I didn't even know about any of these apps. So if you guys know other apps, please type them down, and maybe we can all learn. So one of them is called Norton Family Premier. It's supposed to be like the best one out there. Also, there's Phone Sheriff. I thought that was a nice name, Phone Sheriff. So let me see, ESET, Parental Control, another app you can install on your kid's phone to monitor what they're doing, to follow their activities, to find them where they are. Custodio, spelled with a Q, Qustodio. Please write that down for me. It's for multiple devices, so that's a good one. If you have multiple devices in the home, you can use Custodio, Qustodio. Okay. Then you can use Net Nanny. I thought that was a cool name too. That is for single devices. So it's like a Net Nanny. It's like a personal nanny for your kid's cell phone. I thought that was really neat. Why didn't I think about that, right? So that's one. And then Lock to Learn is also another app that you can use. So those are the apps that I think the six apps that I found. If you guys know of any other apps, let me see. If you know of any other apps, let me know. No? Okay, cool. So, and what my favorite thing of, Custodio, yes, Qustodio. All right, and then Net Nanny. Very good. Thank you, Miss Elise. So those are some of the apps. So Norton Family Premier, Phone Sheriff, which I think is a cool one and it should be easy to remember. Phone Sheriff. Net Nanny should also be easy to remember. SET, that's a parental control as well. And then Lock to Learn. So 6 apps that I found that parents can install in their kids' phones in order to follow them and know what they're about. And one of the last ones, which is my personal favorite, is random cell phone checks. I know last time I talked about that, someone was really excited about it. Random cell phone checks. For me, I think honestly that is the best. If you have their passwords, if you set, my son has his face on my cell phone for face recognition. He has his thumb on my cell phone for thumb recognition. It's a cool relationship that we have. Don't judge us. But that may not work for you, but that works for us. He's pretty cool. I do have access to his cell phone, so I can see what he's about, what he's up to. You can do that, do random cell phone checks of like, okay, guys, let me have your cell phone. And they just give me their cell phones and I check, and then I usually don't do anything on it. One of the things that kids worry about is loss of privacy. So they can actually be there while I'm checking it. It's not a secret. I don't take the phone and go away. So you can do that in order to earn that trust from your kids. You can have them be right there while you're checking their phones. I know that there are lots of fancy apps out there that hide. There's some incognito and all those things that hide what they're about. We can only do what we can do, right? So absolutely, one of the things you can do is do random cell phone checks. And then, of course, last but not least, when all else fails, what do? Confiscate. That's the word? Confiscate. Oh, yeah. Confiscate. Okay, good. Confiscation. Okay, good. Don't judge me. Confiscation of the good. Okay? Remember what I said last time? This is your money. It's technically your cell phone. You're paying for it. Now, if you have young adults like I do who already pay for themselves, then oh well. But if you don't, then be like me. Confiscate the good. Confiscate. Oh my God. What is the word? It doesn't matter. Take the phone. How about that? Okay. Take the phone. So if all else fails, take the phone. Shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down. It's funny how nice and friendly and good your kids are going to be when you take their phone. However, remember what I say though, the cell phone is the ultimate connector. Yes, it is a form of communication with their friends. It is a form of staying abreast with their friends and what's going on with their friends. So don't take it for too long, or just remember, cognizant of that fact that they do use it to connect with their friends. But also we know there's a lot of bad things that can happen with a cell phone. I found out, what did I find out recently? There's something crazy that I found out. my cell phone, but I can't remember. I think it was the fact that, I think there was the porn thing, the fact that if they take pictures of their wrong body parts and it gets out there, it is a felony. It is a felony. That's the newest thing that I found. So please, 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 y'all, be careful with your kids and their telephones. That's about all I have today. So I'm just going to do my quick spiel. I'm really excited. I'm going to be featured. I'm going to be the last of the Mohicans guest on the On-Air Advocates tomorrow at 12 noon Central. So please log on. It's going to be a Facebook Live. And I have upcoming the Midlife Summit that's coming up September 17th through the 27th. I talked about raising teens in midlife, which is what I am. Let me see. I have a couple of other things coming up. I'm working with the Houston Museum, which is really exciting. Houston Health Museum. It's a subsidiary of the Smithsonian. So I'm really excited about that. I have a few other speaking gigs coming up, really exciting stuff. So follow me here on Ask Dr. Lulu or my personal page. Find me on Instagram as Ask Dr. Lulu. I am on Twitter as Uchenna Ume, my real name. I'm also on LinkedIn as Uchenna Ume, yes. And we're doing things bigly. So just stay abreast with all my activities. Find me. Let me know what's going on, y'all. If you need someone to come and speak to your teens at home, I could probably pull that off. At school, at church, if you have any programs coming up, let me know. I do have openings, okay? The last thing is my website, which I'm really, really proud of. We're building it as we go. And as we speak, as a matter of fact. Hi, Ify. My mom says confiscate. Okay, thank you, mommy. Confiscate. Hi, Sarah Chang. So, let me see. Hi, Jose. Hi, how are you? My boo. So anyway, that's all I have for you guys. But my website, I'm really, really proud of it. Look out for it. It's not ready to go yet. I do have 2 weeks that I'm taking off to just distress a little bit and kind of get my whole act together. And I'll be back in about 2 weeks. And I'm going to start seeing patients on the Sniffle app as a telemedicine gig. So I'm excited about that also. So thank you guys for everything. I'm going to go over everything real quick. First one, parents lead by example. Don't forget that. You guys are the books through which your kids read the words of life. You guys are the mirror through which your kids look at life. You guys are the windows through which your kids see life. So you must lead by example, okay? Set rules of engagement. If you're unlucky like me and your kids already have cell phones, it's like at this point is a bargain. It is a bargain, okay? But otherwise, if your kids don't have cell phones yet, before you make the move, sit down and have a chit chat with them. Rules of engagement. So what are the things we talked about? Limits of use, places of use, no use in the car, no use during dinner time, really no use during family time, right? And of course, bedtime. Read a book. Nothing makes Mr. Sleep come as fast as ever as reading a book. Read a book, you go to bed quickly, okay? So read a book instead of using your cell phone at bedtime. All cell phones charge together at night, okay? And get them alarm clocks so they give you that excuse. Let me see. Oh, I had one thing. One of the things I do with my kids is I usually match their video game and or cell phone use with the reading time. That's a big one. So what do I mean by that? If they read for 2 hours, they get 2 hours of cell phone use. If they read for 4 hours, they get 4 hours of cell phone use. So yes. So that's one of the things that I completely forgot. I can't believe that. So we want to do that. You want to kind of bargain with them. Say, okay, you can have your cell phone. You can play your video games for X amount of hours as long as you read for X amount of hours. Okay, so that's another thing you can do. Then, of course, we talked about no texting and driving for the older kids who are driving, no texting while driving, absolutely none. Restrict camera, cell phone use, please, if you can. Restrict. Set parental controls. I listed up the apps. There was Norton, Family Premier, Phone Sheriff, Net Nanny, Custodio, ESET, and Lock to Learn. They're all apps you can use to set barriers. Parental controls. And then, of course, random checks. I'm all about random checks. If you tell the kids, if they're there with you while you're doing the random check, I feel like you gain their trust more. If you take the phone and go to location B, then it looks like, what are you up to? So just stay right there with me. I'm going to check your phone real quick. Make sure that everything is okay. And then that way you can ask them, what is this and who is this and stuff like that. So there'll be no cyberbullying, not from my kids, right? Or your kids either. And then last but not least, confiscation. And I got the word right. I don't know what I was saying. Confiscate if necessary, right? Take it. It's your phone anyway. You're paying for it. Take the phone. So that's all I have. If you guys have any questions, let me see. Why? Wow, David, Paul Lloyd from the UK. Hi, how are you? This is such a treat. Thank you for joining me, man. Oh my goodness, let me see. Hi, Emmeline, how are you? Can you please write down the apps you mentioned? Could someone please write down the apps that I mentioned? I'm going to say them one more time. So the first one is Norton Family Premier, Norton Family Premier. Someone please write it down on my Ask Dr. Lulu page, please. And then Phone Sheriff was another one that I mentioned. Phone Sheriff. Then ESET, parental control, E as in Echo, S as in Sierra, Echo, and Tango. So ESET, and then Custodio, Q as in Quebec, U as in Uniform, S as in Sierra, T as in Tango, O as in Oscar, D as in Delta, I as in India, O as in Oscar. So Custodio. I'm good, keeping up the good work. Thank you. Keep up the good work. Thank you. And then Net Nanny, NET Nanny is another one. And then Lock to Learn. You guys have 6 apps you can use. And you know what? Close the loop and let me know how they work out. I'm going to try the Net Nanny personally, I think, because it's a single device one. So I'm going to use it for the one kid that I have that I still have control over. Okay. Otherwise, it was really, really fun. Sorry about the snafu at the beginning. You know, you can't edit live. We had some technical difficulties and I had to kind of get my mind right again. And then, so we got it. We pulled it off. So thank you guys. I'll see you guys next Sunday. Next Sunday's topic, believe it or not, I got 2 people who recommended this for me today, rather to me today. One of the ladies was at church. One of the people was a lady at church. I went to, they had a teen program or something. They had a like a fair, and I went to the teen table and I was talking about what I do. And then she recommended that I talk about siblings of kids who are depressed and or suicidal. We should discuss that. And then my friend, Mr. Anthony Cadavid, mentioned the same thing to me today. So how cool is that? So next week, I don't care what I had on my agenda. I'm going to scrap it and we're going to talk about siblings of teens who have depression and suicidal ideation, suicidal thoughts, or who have committed suicide. That's going to be a deep one. So as you guys know, if I'm emotional, sometimes this is the person that I am. I'm human. And so just bear with me. But next week is going to be a little bit somber. We're going to be talking to siblings. So prepare your kids. If you're a mother who has dealt with this with your child, prepare the siblings. We're going to be talking about that next week. And she says, Ellie says, thanks for repeating. The static was getting in the way. Sorry about that. But if you guys heard me loud and clear, please give me a thumbs up and I'm going to sign out. Okay, it's been 30 minutes. These are getting longer, but it's been 30 minutes and I have to go. Okay, thank you guys so much. God bless you. Have a wonderful week ahead. Say prayers for me. Okay, peace out. Bye. Really?